Hi everyone, this is Arcadius and welcome back to Naval Creed. Today we will be reviewing the next Japanese battleship, that being Nagato, or as I have the sister ship, Mutsu. Now, this ship can actually be really powerful if you know how to play her, or really weak if you do not. So first let's take a look at her stats. So we have 66,400 health, 25% torpedo resistance, so we actually decrease from the 33% that Fuzo got. Well, you can see all this other stats there. We have a 410 millimeter guns, so they're approximately 16-inch guns, arranged in four double turrets, two in the front, two in the rear. These are really good guns. You're at the tier where 16-inch guns can overmatch bow armor, so that's always fun. Gun range is 20.4 kilometers. Secondary range is 5 kilometers. You have a bunch of heavy casemates in the middle and end here. Then you also have a couple dual purpose 5-inch in the lower superstructure. Those consist of your secondaries. The heavy caliber casemates are actually pretty good. They can actually give you some relatively good damage. I believe they fire armor piercing. I haven't played the ship in a long time, so I will find out in the game. But yeah, you're not going to get all your damage from secondaries, or not enough to make a real difference, but it does get a little bit. You do have a fighter. There's the stats there. You have 3 fighters you can carry, and you also go 25 knots. So you're not as slow as something like a Colorado, but it's not terrible. Armor, max of, what was that, 457, so that's 18 inches of armor, surprisingly. It says the belt is 12 inches, but it looks like there's 18 maybe on the turret faces and barbettes. This ship is the only one that if you shoot the broadside, it's a hit or miss with the Citadel. Sometimes you do get a lot of Citadels and it immediately just takes a whole bunch of damage out of her. Or sometimes it just overpens or just normally pens. This is the only one where the armor can be kind of trolly. Where you would expect a Citadel, sometimes you may not get it. Aaa Defense, it's actually not terrible. Like I said, a common theme with Japanese battleships is that they have relatively good damages, however, their ranges are not good. So in this case, 29 DPS is 6 kilometers, that's probably the dual purpose 5-inch, and then everything else is at the 3.7 kilometers. So all these smaller Type 96s. So with that, let's toss into a game and see what we can do. Alright, so we have ourselves a game. 4 battleships, 4 cruisers, 3 destroyers, no carrier. This ship is not the best against carriers, so I'm not too worried about that right now. Cruisers, she just completely annihilates if you give her half a chance, especially ships like Brooklyn and Chongqing. Those are, and Miyoko, actually, for that matter. If you give broadside or even bow on for ships like Brooklyn, you can go right through the nose and just do major damage. I forget what ship I was playing. It might have been Tirpitz the other day, where I fired at a Helena, or maybe it was a Brooklyn, from bow on from like 16 kilometers. And I triple citadeled her and sank her in one salvo right from the bow, and it was very satisfying to say the least. You can do similar things with this ship too. Alright, the shell velocity is good, so this ship is most closely comparable to Colorado. They have the dreadnought kind of hull. They have 16-inch guns. They both have 8 of them. Relatively good AA. So where Nagato is faster, has longer range, and better secondaries, Colorado has better armor, better AA, and better maneuverability. So you have trade-offs for either one, but both are pretty powerful. However, I would definitely take Nagato over Colorado any day. I don't even remember if Colorado gets an aircraft. I know New Mexico does. I don't remember if Colorado does. Alright, so Nagato. She's maneuvering. And my targets are the battleships. The gun angles on the ship are actually not terrible. So we have ourselves a Nelson. So Nelson has 9 16-inch guns. So one more than Nagato. But it's not in a very good layout. Alright, so we didn't really do anything there. But that's alright. We're still at max range almost. Most of the time, if not at least 95% of the time, I use armor piercing. Because if you can hit it, most of the time you can pen it. Or at least overmatch it. So there's very few times where I actually use high explosive with this ship. Oh, I am getting quite a few shatters. Well, that's actually kind of surprising. Especially on a Nelson. Now, the closer I get, the flatter the shell trajectory, so I should be seeing, a little bit more damage. I'm still getting a lot of ricochets and bounces. Alright, so there's the secondaries opening up. But we can make this go a little bit quicker. Like that. Let's focus secondaries on the Sudachi, which we are not in range for. Alright, what's our next? Oh, we can take out this Miyoko. Mutsu hood. There goes the Udachi. There goes the Miyoko. Brooklyn's all the way over there, unfortunately. I wanted to sink her. Alright, ooh, is she gonna survive? Nope. That's not a good angle. Let's try Rodney, I guess. I'm really doing nothing to these Nelson classes. Really. As you can see, the secondaries do quite a bit of damage. I don't know if I can overmatch this bow, actually. I'm gonna try. Oh, I can. Well, kind of. 4 ricochets still, though. Alright, so this is a good angle. Secondaries are going to get quite a bit of damage, especially the casemates. And you know what? Heck it. Let's go for this Brooklyn. And hope she doesn't turn. And look at that, she turned. But that's okay. I'm still gonna go right through that bow. Yee. That's so satisfying. I love overmatching ships. It's like, try to angle. It'll do you nothing. Let's finish her off. Right through the bow. Alright, maybe we'll actually start doing some damage on these Nelson classes now. There's also the sneaky little Leningrad down there. Alright, so I can go through the bow of both of these battleships, but I'm trying to get some broadsiding citadels. Like that. I just couldn't do it before for whatever reason. Also, if you couldn't tell already, I do have health buffs and speed buffs applied. So that's why I'm almost going 27 knots. The secondaries are actually pretty powerful on this ship now that I've played a game with her. Especially those casemates. I mean, right now they're just bouncing off Rodney, but Against lighter ships like Nagano and cruisers and, well, mainly cruisers, I guess you could say, is where those secondaries are going to shine. Destroyers, they'll just overmatch, and battleships, well, you can see they do a little bit of damage, but not really enough to make a whole lot of difference. Though I did happen a Citadel and a Rodney with a secondary, so I mean, I guess that has it going for them. See if I can get over this island. Yeah, a little bit. It's those dual-purpose 5-inch guns that are not going to do anything. So yes, the 6-inch casemates, or I'm assuming they're 6-inch, fire armor-piercing, and dual-purpose 5-inch shoot high-explosive. So a little bit of everything. I highly doubt I'm going to be able to hit this Leningrad if it's maneuvering and at this range and at its speed it probably is. But we're going to try. Oh, we got 2 pens. Awesome. And we took out of one of its guns. And it should be gone any second now. There we go. Alright, so let's see how we did. 175,000 damage, 5 ships sunk, 84 shell hits, 2 aircraft shot down, 5 citadels, 1 fire, 6 defended caps, 101 secondary hits, over 5,300 base XP. I only fired armor piercing, which gave me 156,000 damage, and secondary battery. The 5-inch dual purpose did about 1,400, and then this 6-inch casemates did 17,000 damage out of 76 shell hits or shots. Or maybe it's hits. No, there's what, 100? No, those are hits, yeah. Alright, so the ship is actually relatively good. She has good guns, good secondaries, okay-ish speed. You're not the fastest. You're going up against ships like Gneiss now, so they can definitely outrun you. Your AA is not terrible. However, you don't exactly stand out either. Your armor can be good if you know how to use it. I wasn't shot at during that game, so I didn't really have a good chance to show you the armor. And the enemy Nagato was sunk by torpedoes. So yeah, definitely stay away from anything that carries torpedoes, or at least do what you can to sink it before it launches them. Try not to antagonize carriers. Focus on battleships and cruisers, because those are your main targets and you can deal with those very, very well. For giggles, maybe a secondary build would not be terrible. I have her focused for accuracy, as you can see, and then she just has the heal and repair. But a secondary build could possibly work relatively good with her, actually, now that I think about it. So that's also something you could try. However, like I said, your armor, you can be citadeled relatively easy, so maybe you don't want to close to within secondary range unless it's needed to, or unless you're going against lightly armored ships. But it's what you want to do. She is a good ship. She's not terrible. I don't play her very often, but that's because there's other ships I prefer playing. But she's very good. At this time, I will finish up the video. If you like the video, make sure you like and subscribe. And join me tomorrow while we go over Nagato and a quarter, aka Amagi. So, I'm really actually looking forward to this. So, thank you for watching and take care.